Hello and welcome back to another in-depth weather video where we are talking about yet another tropical storm. This is Tropical Storm Georgette, which has formed in the East Pacific and is the 7th named storm of the East Pacific hurricane season for 2022. So the current statistics for this storm: Georgette currently has maximum sustained winds of 45 miles an hour, minimum central pressure of 1,002 millibars, and is moving west at 9 miles per hour. Now, Georgette is going to be a weird one. The storm is projected to remain a tropical storm throughout 5 days, but start to drift off to the south for about 2 days until 5 p.m. on Friday, and then take a sharp, pretty much 45-degree turn, pretty much straight north. And you can see that the National Hurricane Center has this mean forecast line that has that sharp turn happening between 5 a.m. Friday and 5 p.m. Saturday. So our arrival time of winds with wind speed probabilities is going to look a bit weird, but we do have at least 70% chance of tropical storm force winds between now and Thursday at 2 p.m. earliest time of arrival. Now, here is Georgette on satellite imagery, and you can see here that, unlike the other system in the East Pacific, Frank, this storm is not as big, right? You have a small storm here that's really it seems to be getting torn apart by some wind shear. It seems like everything's kind of getting blown off to the western side. But you do have that rotation in there. You do have thunderstorms, so it checks all the boxes. But there is going to be some prohibiting factors to the storm. Now, it's going to be riding pretty close to the 20 degrees north parallel as it is moving through here with that warnings and cone. 20 degrees north is right around here. Now, we usually see East Pacific storms start to die off at about 20 degrees north. So that is going to be a factor in play here since this storm is already so close to that threshold. So here is our global hurricane models on the Tropical Tidbits current storm information, and you can see that there's real no set track here. It's just going to be a weird storm. It either goes off to the southwest, almost straight south, rebounds to the north, rebounds to the east. And that's a constant with all of these. The GEFS has that bounce back to the north because the individual spaghetti strains, as I like to call them, have the storm going everywhere. Same thing here with the GEPS. There's no consistency here. The European model is probably the most consistent here with that turn to the south, but kind of staying to southwest, and then eventually after 125 degrees west starting to take that turn toward the north. That's probably the most consistent ensemble, and even the European model has this storm going everywhere. So the track is going to be an issue, especially once we get above that 20 degrees north parallel. Just where does the storm go, and how quickly does it lose that strength? Because, again, Baja's over here, but you do have California up this way. It's unlikely that it actually gets that far. It's almost definitely not going to get that far north. But, you could see some impacts maybe if this storm does get closer to Baja. Doubt it, but, again, this storm can literally go anywhere. So the intensity seems that most of the models here are showing this staying as a tropical storm, and at similar strengths too, really not peaking over 50 knots, like 55, 60 miles an hour. Now, there are some models here, about 2 of them, that do have this at a Category 1, Category 2 hurricane. A few here, probably about a half dozen, having it at strong tropical storm force. But I think that strong tropical storm force, it has a much better chance of happening than hurricane. But again, moderate tropical storm seems like the point here that is kind of more agreed upon. Let's use that term. So here's the storm on the GFS, and you can see here, it just, I think, the GFS has it getting absorbed into Frank. Have some Fujiwara effect happening there, where you have this low pressure, it's going to the south, and just gets absorbed right into Frank, which is going to be the more intense storm. So that's what usually happens with a Fujiwara effect. Unless the two storms are at equal strength, the stronger storm will just kind of gobble up the smaller storm. Now, the European model is showing this kind of staying around for a little bit longer, but again, Frank is having an impact there, moving the storm down to the south, and the storm eventually moves back up to the north after Frank moves through, and then eventually the storm gets absorbed into, looks like, one of the outer bands of Frank, as Frank moves up to maybe even the 30 degrees north parallel there. So we could see this storm kind of emphasize Frank. Now, Frank is at 50 miles an hour right now. Georgette is at 45. But as Frank starts to intensify, we could see Georgette kind of add to some of that oomph as Frank is moving off to the north and west. So just interesting things here at play, and we'll just have to see how it goes. But that's all the information that I have for the storm. Kind of an awkward little storm that's just out in the East Pacific right now, but we'll see how it goes. But that's all the information that I have for today. If you enjoyed this video and found it informative, consider leaving a like, subscribing, and hitting the bell. But that is all I have for today. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.